Today's video is about the economy, capitalism versus socialism. Now, your government is trying to, especially the United States, is trying to, spruce up the economy with these bailouts and so on. But what they really want you to do is they want you to basically embrace socialism to the fullest extent. So that means the banks would all be taken over, airlines and all that stuff, and supposedly the guys, of course, they want to make you happy. They want to make you secure, make you feel secure. Well, that could, if anything, could be farther from the truth. And if you want to look at what had happened in the past and what didn't work, and still isn't working, is what's going on in Russia and the like. The goal of brainwashing in marketing or in governments, whatnot, is that the government wants to give a little bit of a push, and they want you to come on the backside and push it a little bit further. Much better that way, that you tell them what you want rather than they tell you what you want. That's why they very cleverly craft these campaigns, so that they get feedback from the society that you're in, and people say this, they say that. Just like in our court system. Our court system is based on words, not on spiritual witness, based on words. So the Christian or Jewish community that basically is mostly in the flesh has created a society that judges them in the flesh. And of course they can tweak the word this way or that way. Black can be white can be black. I'm sure a lot of you are all too familiar with that. And that's how they basically sit there and prostitute you. But you've allowed them to prostitute you. Now, in today's economy, if things get too far out of hand, the Masons that are behind these governments, like the U.S. and England and Germany, and yours truly, Israel, part of the Mason group now, the Israel you think is of God and all that stuff, and that's gone. The present-day Israel is anywhere from 50 to 100 times worse than whatever Hitler did. So, if the power comes in from the opposite side, comes in too strong, well then God will have to amp up the power to that, and then of course it gets into a big field day, in which kind of many Moses' type ministries will pop up throughout the land and throughout the rest of the world, and then the Christians, of course, won't have much of the liberty that they have now. They'll have to answer to that, and if they don't, well then, they have situations like Ananias and Sapphira in their Bible, of course, it explains these things and tells them what could possibly happen, if they don't kowtow. But if they don't do it that way, and this Mason thing kind of comes in with its advertising and through the governments and our leaders and this kind of thing, gets to a point that you accept what's there when that, under the guise of they love you. Remember, don't you know we love you? and you do that, then you're going to have world banking system and socialism and totalitarianism, whatever and what have you, shoved right up your ass. Now, there are a lot of the banks that are not necessarily part of this fray, but I guarantee you, if you push for socialism, you push for a full-on dictatorship reign in this country when that, you basically will kick out your Congress, and your Senate goes flying right out the window. The government in the United States is already set up with another constitution already set up during the time of the Nixon administration. It was set up in I think it was November of 1974 or October. I think it was called the First Interdependent State Act or something like that. Of course, this was originally your original Constitution, where it said that if there was a major calamity in the United States, that they have the right to kick out the Constitution and set up a new government. So these things are all pretty much in the fray. They're already being worked out in the background. They have actually large concentration camps already built here in the United States, set up for millions of people, and so on. And what they did in Germany, they'll duplicate it here. Instead of burning the Jews, it'll be barbecuing the Christians, but along with a bunch of everybody else from that's not Christian, just anybody that's a U.S. citizen. And they have the then they have the currency figure in place. European common market was a test plan. Now they want to put the euro here on the West Coast. Not just the West Coast, it encompasses, I think, all of South America, Central America, the United States, Canada, Mexico, of course. That will all be under one currency. Divide the world up into four currency things, four currency types of currencies, and then eventually merge it all into one. Well, actually, it wouldn't be such a bad idea because it alleviates the counterfeiting process and all that stuff. But there are bigger issues than just counterfeiting that need to be addressed. That don't let these people take you over with that. But of course, eventually God will allow this thing to slump like He did with, say, the Tower of Babel. Only slightly so the people that were forging this wickedness aren't hurt, and the people that are underneath being hurt by it aren't hardly hurt with that. And so this process goes on and on ad infinitum with that. But there have been things that have gotten a lot better since, say, 200-300 years ago. But it doesn't mean that things can't make a turn for the worse, because, like the Smokey the Bear says, only you can put out forest fires. Well, only you can decide whether or not you want your government to make a slave out of you or not. This is not like years ago we had the military and all that stuff where you could buffalo the people. Now they have a military here in the United States, but I mean, realistically speaking, what do you got? 300 million in this country. You got 2 million in the military. And you got some atomic bombs and this, that, and thing. But not likely you're going to blow off an atomic bomb in our backyard. You know, the fallout effect not just affects the people that it hits, but everybody else around it. So not likely that's going to happen. They'll threaten it, but they're not likely ever going to do that. So you, the people, are very powerful, whether you be Christian or otherwise. You don't realize what your power is with that. You could probably do something like not pay taxes 1 year. See how that wakes them up. What are they going to do? They're going to arrest everybody? Matter of fact, you don't even have to pay taxes. From what I hear, taxes is voluntary. The taxes is not mandatory. It's kind of like they become a problem, and it's like the dog that you run away from. As soon as you run away from the dog, of course gives pursuit. As soon as you stand there, the dog stops dead in his tracks. He won't attack. I've been in situations up against pit bulls and chows and German shepherds. I stood my ground and waited for them to come after me. They stopped, you know. But if I run, yeah, they'll give a run after me, and of course they could probably jump on top of my back or whatever they want to do. So that's enough said on that.